everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood farmer, Free Range Kara, and I wanted to do another little top 5 list. And since I'm dipping my toes into the tag team division a little bit more these days, I figured I'd do a kind of a top 5 list of my favorite tag teams. And I know I could go the easier route and be like, Edge and Christian, D-Generation X, but I didn't really grow up watching those guys. Like, I got into wrestling a little bit later, so I looked back to the year 2014, which was one of the earlier years when I was watching wrestling. And I just looked up some of the tag teams and made a quick little list out of those guys. You'll definitely recognize most of them because they're still very, a couple of them are still very prominent now. The first one being The Shield, Seth Ambrose, Seth Dean, and Roman Reigns. Was one of the first tag teams that I really got into. And how could you not? They were aligned with CM Punk at the start, and he was my favorite wrestler, so it made sense for me to be like, oh yeah, I like those guys too. But them working as a unit was great. I loved watching them on WWE, especially when they were feuding with the Wyatt family. I thought that was just one of the greatest pairings that wrestling ever made. So I'm glad I got to see that live and in person and get to watch that. Another tag team from WWE that was around when I first started watching wrestling, believe it or not, was The New Day. They existed all the way back in 2014, so they've been going for a long time. And again, they started off kind of rocky, didn't really know what they were wanting to do, but as soon as they kind of stumbled into their bootios and their silly little jokes and all their fun little things and getting people mad at them for having too much fun, how could you not get excited to see The New Day on your screen? Their colorful outfits and just their general whimsy for life on the screen just made it so easy to fall in love with them as a tag team. A tag team that I don't believe is together anymore because I think they're at least not together in WWE anymore is The Ascension. The Ascension, Connor and Victor, huge in NXT. I absolutely loved watching them. NXT was the show to watch back then. And I just loved seeing them go out there and just destroy their opponents. And they had really cool looking gear, and their tag team finish was really good. And I really enjoyed watching them. They didn't quite do as well on the main roster, but that kind of happens sometimes. But I really enjoyed their NXT run. Another team was huge both in NXT and in WWE until people get fired, people break up tag teams, was Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, or Enzo and Big Cass. There I use their full government WWE names. But it's impossible to, if you didn't like Enzo and Cass back in their NXT run and their early WWE stuff, I don't know what's wrong with you. They had the whole crowd eating out of the palm of their hand. And there's been rumors that the only reason they didn't get to be the tag team champions at NXT is because they would have been too popular and there wouldn't have been a team that anyone else would have cared about if they were tag team champions and also the most, comedic guys on the mic and the most engaging on the mic. So, big Enzo and Cass fan over here. Not as much of a fan of their later stuff, but, early Enzo and Cass is definitely, was peak, NXT television. And then the last one for my top 5 that I'm going to do today, not necessarily my favorite tag team of all time during that time, but a team that got me to watching other wrestling other than just WWE, was Bad Influence in TNA, also known as Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels. And again, just two guys who are incredible on the mic and have great timing, and they just really know how to pick up a moment and ride that moment. And I really enjoyed watching them wrestle and especially listening to them talk on the microphone, especially Christopher Daniels. He's also one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So it's just, and anything those two do together in the ring, I'm a big fan of. Well, that was my list of my favorite tag team wrestlers from the year 2014. I know it's a little later in the game than a lot of people started watching wrestling, but I think I got in at a good time and I got to see a lot of cool things start. Let me know what your favorite tag teams are, whether from your childhood or from now or from the year 2014, because that's where we're going today. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.